Okay. I feel like my life is leading me, and I'm not leading my life.
Well, that's what happens when you create without knowing you are, and then you observe what you are creating, and then you create some more of it. Sometimes people will say, Abraham, it feels like my thoughts are thinking me instead of me thinking my thoughts. But it just takes some decisions in order to turn that around.
Right. And I have so much to choose from, and then I also I desire something that I feel like is not conventional in terms of a career, and it's like a path that I'd like to follow. I know it's like a calling of mine, but it's also it's kind of scary to go down that road, given the fact that the other people that are surrounding me are more pushing me into a direction that seems a little more stable, where I'd like to please them, but at the same time I don't know if I can go that way, and so it's just it's hard for me to.
Well, here's the thing: if you can follow your own heart and feel good while you're doing it, then that's always the best route for you to take. But if in following your own heart you feel frightened, now you've introduced contradictory energy anyway. And then you could do something that, even though it didn't ring your bells as much, you felt more secure in, and you could actually get better results. We always encourage doing what rings your bells and then find a way to line up with that, rather than doing what's most comfortable, because your desire has been born out of the life experience that you've lived, and it is always valid. Rather than, I'm going to find the right decision and try to make the right decision, we like to say, find what thrills you and make that the right decision. So look at the choices that you have. You can do something that thrills you less, and no harm done, it just thrilled you less.
Right.
And do you have an opportunity to do both? In other words, often we hear people say, I'm so bogged down in what I don't want to do that I don't have time to do what I do want to do. And yet they have plenty of time to do some of what they want to do if they weren't complaining so hard about not having time to do what they want to do. In other words, it is their complaint about not being able to go for it that holds them in a place where they don't go for it. So why not do what's safe and what's fun at the same time? Many people do that. In other words, they follow the stable course, and then they, in their imagination and in their true desire, keep fanning the flames of what they really want to do. And the universe can yield to you stability and excitement at the same time. In other words, you are a multifaceted being. You can create simultaneously on a number of venues if you want to. But if you keep saying, I can't do that because I have a limitation of time, then you don't use the leverage that the universe will give you. In other words, you don't need time to dream. You don't need time to beat the drum of what you're wanting. That doesn't take time. That just takes focus, and focus does not really require time. What takes your time is going through the motions of life. It's the action part that takes time. So if you're in this dilemma where you feel like you should follow the surer path, follow that with your time and action, while you use your imagination and your focus on the other, and the universe can deliver both to you simultaneously, and then you can make a very smooth transition from the thing that pays the bills, from the thing that feels more stable, into the thing that you most want to do.
So I'm being overly analytical of myself.
Most are. It's all right.
Right. I find myself thinking about how I'm thinking.
Well, we want you to think about how you're feeling. Because if you think about how you're feeling, and then you will choose the next thought based upon finding a thought that you think will make you feel better, what happens is you just move into greater ease, where you allow the universe to give you the circumstances and events and avenues that will unfold in the way that you are wanting. In other words, creation is about getting an idea of something you want and then adjusting your vibration in order to let it in. That's what deliberate creation is. So following your bliss is a very good plan. Do you want to talk about it, or are you wanting to hold it to yourself until you feel greater confidence? You don't have to talk about it. Think about it yourself. Bring yourself into vibrational alignment with it.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
We want you to not need us to give you confidence to do what you want. We want you to say to everyone.
That's the thing. People have confidence in me, but I just don't see it, and that's a.
Well, then talk to those who see it and talk yourself into it.
And that's what I need to
And you do it one little step at a time. Have you received some sense of that today as we've been chewing? Do you know that when you talk about something long enough, you begin to believe it, unless every time you talk about it, you practice not believing it? That's interesting, isn't it? So sometimes people will say, well, if you say it long enough, you'll come to believe it. And we say, but if every time you say it, you don't believe it and you just keep practicing that, then you don't make any headway. So you have to break it down so that it feels good. That's how you know you're not contradicting it. So make more general statements, or think about people that you know that have done things similar to it, and say things to yourself of a general nature like, well, I'm certain that that person who is now living it at one time didn't believe it either, but little by little brought himself into a place of believing it. That's the way it happens, you see. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to it just a bit longer, but I appreciate your
Jerry wrote a
thoughts.
paper one time, and we applauded it all the way he wrote it, that said, keep your ideas to yourself until they are fully developed. Because he discovered that people would have a dream, and when they began talking about it before it was really stable in their own vibration, people could easily talk them out of it. Just with a little bit of conversation, their vibration would get all scattered, and then they would lose their own way. And so he said, don't talk about it until you are invincible in your knowledge, and then tell everyone.
That's also helped me, though, in the fact that people have talked me out of things, but it also makes me develop new ideas. So then I have more stuff, and if I can gain the confidence.
No one else can feel the vibration of your desire as you mean it, and no one else can feel the vibration of where you are as you mean it. And so no one else can guide you. It is only you who knows, you see. And while they mean well, they really don't know. What they're really saying to you is, I love you and I want your happiness, and I feel better when you feel better, so I want you to feel better, and so why don't you do what makes me feel better? And we say, when you do that, you end up pleasing that one and 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 that one, maybe, but you don't please yourself. And if you don't please yourself, then you ultimately don't please them either, you see. So just say to them, I love that you love me, now go away and leave me alone.
So what I'm wondering is, and maybe this question would be answered when I'm at a different place in my emotional journey, but in defining what my professional career is or would be, and
But wait,
looking
you see,
for what feels good, though.
But you
How
see,
do I
this
know
is,
that?
hear the backwards fashion of this. What you're saying is, I want to define what my professional journey or professional career would be, so that I can talk about it, so that I can make it happen. And we want you to talk in terms of emotions rather than in terms of profession. We want you to talk in terms of the direction you're going, not in terms of the specific destination that you're going to. In other words, we want you to feel your way there rather than think your way there. That's what creating from the inside out is. You see, every experience that you've had has caused you to launch preferences. So when someone wasn't nice to you, you launched preferences that you preferred that people be nicer. When you were rude to people, which is rare, you launched preferences that said you want to get along with people. When you earn not as much money as you believe you are worthy of, or you believe that your effort is worth, you launch preferences that say, I want to be paid proportionate to what I'm offering. When you feel stagnant in a position, you launch preferences that say, I want something more stimulating, and I want something where I can contribute more. So in every moment of every day, these preferences are radiating out from you because of the trial and error of life that you are living. And source energy has a very clear perspective of who you are and exactly what you are wanting. In other words, your destination has already been programmed into your global positioning satellite.
Okay.
Source energy already knows who you are and where you are wanting to go, and is guiding you. So when you get off your path, you're going to feel the negative emotion. So when you say, nothing is more important than I feel good, let's see, I think I'll think about career, and you think about career and you get discouraged, and then you deliberately reach for a thought that softens the discouragement and maybe gives you a feeling of hopefulness, you've done extraordinary work, because you've softened a vibration, you've changed a vibration, you've changed your point of attraction, and now the universe can deliver to you something that is on your path. What happens with so many of you, you take this deliberate creation to heart because you've already, even before you heard it, come to believe that you are here being tested, and so you believe that you must know every step that you're going to take. And what we want you to understand is that you know how each step is supposed to feel, but you don't necessarily know the precision or the precise way that it will unfold. That's why people talk about trusting. It's why they talk about letting go and letting God. It's why we talk about allowing. It's why we talk about getting into the receiving mode.
So I was thinking I had to be clearer about what I was telling the navigation system I wanted to.
You've already told the universe what you want. Step one happened a long, long time ago. And that doesn't mean that you're not amending it constantly. But step one happens naturally. And the reason that we talk to anyone about setting goals or about talking about what you want is because when you talk about what you want, you activate a vibration of what you want. But if you have been wanting something for a while and it's not coming about, then every time you talk about it, there's a very strong probability that you're talking about it from the framework of not having it rather than from the feeling place of having it. And that's the difference. You got to feel what you want in spite of now appearances, because future is coming in response to the vibration or the drum that you're beating now, you see.
And I don't have to know the precise details of that destination.
You don't have to know it. And why do you want to? Answer the question. It'll give you a lot of insight. Why do you want to know the precise way that it will unfold?
Well, I would say security, and that's how you answered my first two questions.
Because you feel insecure that you might make a wrong step. And what we're saying,
I might not get there.
And that's why we give the analogy that when Jerry and Esther are in Yuma, even though they want to be in San Diego, they don't get so disoriented that they go back to Phoenix. Mm-hmm. But that's an unfair comparison because that journey is easily quantifiable. It's easily understood. Where your destination between where you are and where you want to be, you're saying to us, I don't understand it. I don't know what doors will open. I don't know what people will assist me. I don't know what form it will take. And we say, but listen to the way you feel and you'll always be on your path. So if the thought makes you anxious, you're off your path. If the thought amplifies your sense of insecurity, you're off your path. If it makes you feel bored, you're off your path. But if it feels interesting, you're on your path. If it feels satisfying, you're on your path. If it soothes you, you're on your path, you see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's how the world remains amazing. Esther says on a daily basis, and so does Jerry, and so do many of you, unbelievable. And she doesn't mean that she doesn't believe it. She means, that happened even better than I could have ever orchestrated it in a million years if I'd had all the factors. In other words, it's so satisfying to see what Source can orchestrate once you line up with the essence of what you want. And it's really worth talking about the essence, because sometimes, let's talk about it from a negative standpoint first. Sometimes a person will end up with a diagnosis. Someone sent Jerry and Esther an email this week, and it said, how could I have this disease? And she named what it was, and she said, but I couldn't have created it because I'd never even heard of it. Until they pinned the label to my toe, I did not even know that I was anywhere near it. And we say it is the vibrational essence that you achieve, and then through the crack of least resistance, the manifestation is delivered. So you work on the essence of the feeling of freedom, and you work on the essence of the feeling of empowerment, and you work on the essence of the feeling of fun. And how do you do that? You can imagine it already having happened and pretend what it will feel like when it is that way. Or you can look for things in your life that are already like that and beat the drum of that until they play a higher percentage of vibrational time in your vibrational signal that you're emanating. And before you know it, you come to the place where you say, there is so much that is going to unfold in my life, and I'm eagerly anticipating all of it, but I'm having so much fun from right where I am right now. And it helps you when you realize you're not ever going to get it done. So you might as well start saying, I've done pretty good. I'm not ever going to get it done. So release those standards of finishing it and start saying, I'm an eternally expanding being, and I'm doing great where I am, and I'm so eager about what's coming. That's the vibrational stance. That's the essence of the vibration that keeps adventurous things coming, keeps you feeling always excited, keeps you feeling stable and secure, keeps you feeling in love with life. And then all day, every day, count your blessings. All day, every day, make your lists of things that you appreciate. And as you keep activating what is working in your life, then more things on all subjects will flow to you.